Burger Boys Worldwide.
He's standing in front of the net with about 8 inches of his shaft in his hand.
And Burgers is all about them rules. Burgers were good to me, and they're good to you.
And Crosby just whacked it off with his left hand.
Burger Boys Worldwide.
You're an announcer with a long stick from time to time.
And for me, the secret of burger is in the blends.
Come on, son, let's hear a band.
Not doing it, Dad.
I got my boys, I got my burgers, that's all I got. I need to hear a band.
Bam! Welcome back to another installment of the Burger Boys Fantasy Hockey Podcast. I'm here. Yags is here. Yags, buddy, how's it going?
I was just glad you're here, that's all.
Yeah, I made it. I did it. This is a tough one to start up the old podcast studio for, but you know what? Still got to bring that same energy, win or lose. It would have been harder if, like last year, if my team wasn't so bad that I was literally showing up to every podcast after like a loss and my team was just bad. It would have been worse if I didn't have that like training from last year already of doing these things, because now it's just like, you know, just got to show up for the fans, right?
Gotta show up for him.
Show face,
Rain.
right?
Rain, shine, tidal wave, whatever.
But yeah, no, it was a tough week, obviously, for me. We'll get more into the matchup, but obviously it's kind of a white elephant that we kind of got to touch a little bit on. But yeah, no, I never really stood a chance from the start to the finish. I think you had 10 roster spots over me, just the way you already had it set up through your bye week. And I just like, I didn't even know we were playing each other until we were on the podcast that day. So I was like, holy shit.
I mean, I tried to tell you stood no chance going into the matchup.
I know,
and then you didn't believe me.
I didn't have time to look at it, so then I right after the podcast, I started doing my research, started looking at everything, and I was like, oh shit. I'm like, he's got me pretty dead to rights. There was times that there's on Saturday when I had every single one of my players playing, I was able to get within like 5 points of you, and then you had like half your team still to play with New York Rangers and Edmonton playing in the evening, and then you just took away. So, but you know what? Changes are coming. Changes are coming to the team, and we'll touch on that more. But yeah, that's why if I sound a little sad, that's why I'm sad, and if Jaeger sounds a little happy, he bested me, and it's always tough to lose the eggs. So, but I'm here.
That's good. I thought you weren't going to be. It sounded like you might not make it.
No. I would never. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It just makes it better when I start going on a run and do better. You know, you got to face adversity. Good teams face adversity. I'm facing a hell of adversity right now. 3 losses in a row.
Team's bad.
I think it's better than what it's been forming at, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll get into the match. We'll talk about it more when the matchups roll around. Anyways, Higgs, other than that, how was your week?
I mean, it was good. It's obviously highlighted by a big win. I did have some A&W this week, so I think that really...
It's probably the difference. I didn't have any A&W.
Probably was the difference maker right there.
Yeah. Right on. What'd you have at A&W?
Classic, buddy. Team burger combo.
Yeah, you're a big teen burger guy, eh?
Gotta go for it.
I usually go with the matzo burger.
Oh yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
I'm Team Burger.
Yeah.
Tried and true. Sometimes I'll go Uncle Burger, but Team Burger guy through and through.
No anti-burgers.
No anti-burgers.
Did you see that? There's like,
I missed it.
there's like a TikTok or whatever, a reel of like this native guy in Manitoba. He's like, "Hey, I want the auntie burger." They're like, "We don't serve that." Like, we got no aunties? You got the uncles? I'm not into uncles. I want the aunties.
I'll have to find that.
Yeah. We obviously can't play it on the podcast for our sponsorships and everything, but actually we probably could because it was filmed in an A&W. It'd be good publicity for A&W.
I doubt A&W approved of the on-location filming.
Anyways, yeah, no, that's good. You got your A&W in, you got your win. Yeah, right on. In terms of NHL, lots of stuff this week actually. Let's hop on over to our X there. Yeah, I got fired up the old X account there at Burger Boy Hockey. Give us a follow if you want. Basically, use it as more of a tool for us on the podcast to gather information because X is the best source of news. But
Actually, you're wrong on that. Blue Sky is the new wave.
yeah, okay.
X is the past, Blue Sky is the future. Look for Burger Boys on Blue Sky, Threads, Mastodon, all of them, man. We're gonna go to the lib sites.
Get all the libs
Fan
in.
outreach.
Get all the libs into it. Blue Sky. I'll be like that.
Instead of tweets, they have skeets.
Is that what it is actually? For real?
Swear to God, not making that up.
So did like the original people of Twitter make Blue Sky?
No, I think it's just some libs living out, and they're skeeting everywhere.
Skeet. Cool.
Skeet, motherfucker.
First order of news. Canucks forward JT Miller to take indefinite leave for personal reasons. Vancouver Canucks general manager Patrick Allvin announced today that forward JT Miller will be taking an indefinite leave of absence from the team for personal reasons. Right now, our sole focus is making sure that JT knows the entire organization is here to support him, said Allvin. Out of respect to JT, we will have no further comment at this time. He's got further comment at this time.
Is Gators reporting reliable on this?
No, that was, of course, Canucks Twitter. Someone, probably Gator, tweeted out that that it was a personal issue with his wife cheating on him or something, or him cheating on. Anyways, totally false news. Of course, you hear about that, and of course, Gator's the first one to report on it. No, sounds like he's just.
I read it.
What's that?
I read it on Blue Sky, so it must be true.
Yeah. No, it sounds like he's just really burnt out, and he's playing through several injuries. I know it kind of sounds rough, like you got JT Miller, who's often the heart and soul of the Canucks organization. You hear him that he's all burnt out already, only 20 games into the season. But, his style takes a toll on him, and there could be other personal issues going on there too. And the mind, you got to get your mind right. He wasn't playing 100% with injuries and mentally the last week or so too. Rest and recovery for the physical bruises and the mind bruises, I guess. I guess what the reports are is it's probably just this road trip, and he'll be back when the team comes home. So.
Yeah, whatever's going on, hopefully gets her figured and gets back out there.
Yeah, next piece of news, you got the Boston Bruins fired Jim Montgomery. I called this.
Did that happen before? Did it happen before last pod?
Nope. I might have called it live on the pod that Montgomery is probably on the hot seat, but no. I think actually it was the next morning. I was actually talking in a DM with Dash One, and because he was complaining about Charlie McAvoy, and I was like, well, I'll just wait till Jim Montgomery gets fired because things are not going good there in Boston, and he's kind of shuffling the lines and benching guys and taking McAvoy off the power play, benching Pasternak every game. things like that. I'm like, Montgomery's going to be out, and then they're going to get a coaching bump, probably. So that was kind of my. And then literally like 12 hours later, they fired Jim Montgomery. And this is your favorite thing in the world, is NHL coaches, the NHL coaching carousel, and how it works. And I think a couple podcasts ago, you're like, yeah, Jim Montgomery will get fired, and then he'll be somewhere right away. And what do you know it?
5 days later.
5 days later. So today, was it announced today or this morning?
I thought it was yesterday.
Was it yesterday that Monty
Actually,
got?
it might have been
Here, I got the tweet somewhere bookmarked, I believe.
Yeah, today.
Yeah, today.
Earlier today.
So Montgomery, they fired Drew Bannister and hired Jim Montgomery. Montgomery returns to St. Louis, where he previously served as an assistant, just 5 days after being fired at Boston. Montgomery has signed a 5-year contract with St. Louis. And this is now the third Jack Adams winning coach that Don Sweeney and Cam Neely have fired.
Nothing's going to get Don Sweeney fired.
Yeah. And he never even won a cup with them. He's been to like 2 finals with them, but no cups. He wasn't even, or he might have been an assistant or something then. What Chiarelli won it? Yeah.
Chiarelli was calling the shots for that team.
Yeah, no doubt. The GOAT.
Might be the greatest.
Yeah. Yeah, so on that, I mean, this is what you're always talking about. A guy gets fired. Yeah, it's just the way of NHL coaches. There's never really any new blood in it, and then and the new blood, they seem to never really last. Like Drew Bannister, 20 games with the Blues essentially, right?
Well, he was named interim coach like halfway through last year. And then got the first 20 games of this year, and then he was out.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty short leash.
Yeah. Joe Sacco takes over as on an interim basis for Boston. Joe Sacco, I believe, he coached Colorado Avalanche.
He coached like 10 years ago, 15 years ago almost.
Yeah. Well, because I remember it was Joe Sacco was coaching, and Joe Sakic had just been named the general manager. But very little success for Joe Sacco. I guess Boston's not really too thrilled about it, I believe, because it almost seemed premeditated. And this is just what I'm hearing from insiders. Their power play is like the worst in the league, and he was in charge of that. And it's like, all right, well, we'll see how it goes from there. I think they won one game, or they played one game. It was like maybe it was a 1-0 game. I forget what it was. Boston just looks like cheeks, bro.
Hey, I mean, Sacco's probably just an interim guy.
Yeah.
Considering it's Don Sweeney in charge, start the Mike Babcock watch.
Yeah. Any more on that?
I mean, not really.
What does this mean for St. Louis? What do you think's going to happen with St. Louis? With Jim Montgomery? Better? Worse?
Probably better.
Yeah.
But I don't know about how much. The team is kind of flawed in of itself.
Yeah.
Maybe they get a bump from Montgomery. I mean, he's had good regular season records wherever he's went.
Yeah. My thing is, I'm a Robert Thomas owner, and Robert Thomas has been injured for like 4 weeks. But when he's like early in the season when he played, it was awesome. Last year it was awesome, and then as soon as he came back, it was like a breath of fresh air for me just to have Robert Thomas back. Because like every game he was at least on the score sheet. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is going to be good for Robert Thomas, for your St. Louis Blues players that weren't quite getting it done for you. Maybe this definitely helps out for that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I think it's talk about the coaching bump from Boston. It'll probably happen for St. Louis as well. And I don't know. I don't have too strong feelings on it. It's just another couple coaches put through the meat grinder. It happens. There'll be a few more this year for sure.
Yeah. Big news out of Toronto. We got Matthews going to Germany. Brad Treleving says Austin Matthews went over to Germany to see a doctor. He has seen in the past. Says it's not alarming, but once they get through that, they hope he will be returning to skating. Says he may play Sunday, but also targeting Florida trip at the end of the month. Won't say anything more than that it is an upper body injury. The guy's just going. He's got he's got some balding hair issues, right? So he's going to get a hair transplant.
That's not where you go. You go to Turkey for hair transplants.
Yeah. Here, let me see if I can whip this up. Nick sent me. Nick's been really. He's been really good on the old Twitter, the Burger Boy Twitter. He's been sending me lots of stuff. So let's see what he sent me a couple articles on the hair transplant infusion of Austin Matthews. Obviously, this is one of the toughest news you'll ever hear. You know, you got Austin Matthews, like, you know, future Conn Smythe winner, future Hart winner, future Cup winner.
Probably future Norris winner.
Future Norris winner too, right? He's so
Future
sick.
Vezina
Right?
winner.
Yeah. Okay, here. This is what Nick sent me. Let me whip it up here. So Nick wrote in Google. Oh, where'd it go? Yeah, Nick wrote in Google. Is Germany good for hair transplant? And then Google AI says yes. Germany is a good place for hair transplant. They got good medical technology there. So it's clearly he's trying to, whether it be Turkey or Germany, I'm sure it'll help his set of hair, right?
Yeah, maybe Germany might actually be better. Turkey is they do some weird shit over there. Everybody comes back and they look all fucked up when they go to Turkey for their hair transplants.
Yeah. Anyways, more on Leafs news. This is a big one. Leafs have signed Alex Nylander. Yes, Willie's brother to a 1-year deal. I guess they play tonight. They got to hang out, and then I think Willie Stiles scored a goal. I don't know how Alex did. I didn't watch the game, but that's big news for Leafs. You got two brothers.
It is big news. Whenever you get brothers on the same team, especially Nylander's Willie Stiles and Alex Stiles. A big game for sure.
So this guy Neeler on Twitter, he's given the Leafs quarter season grades. He gives Matthews a B, he gives Nylander A+, Nylander A, or Marner A+, Nylander A, Tavares A-, Nyes A-, Domi D+, Pacioretty C+, McMahon. I mean, the list goes on. The one thing I gotta say about this list is that it should all be A+.
Every Leafs player is the greatest player ever.
Like Ryan Reeves gets an F. Like, are you kidding me? That's an A+.
Did you see his totally clean hit last week?
Yeah, I mean, we covered it last week. Yeah, no, it was. I have gripes on this list, man.
Yeah, I've seen everybody trying to do it for their teams, but the only one that matters is the Leafs.
Yeah, no doubt. So that's the Leafs grades. Obviously, Willie and Nylander together. Sidney Crosby scored 600 in his career.
Yeah, Obi did that shit like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Old news. Dustin Wolf from the Calgary Flames. His record 8-2-1 with a 2.33 goals against average, 10th in the league. A save percentage .926 and one shutout. Pretty much got to be your leading Calder candidate at this point, right? Like, really,
yeah.
one of the biggest reasons what the success of the Flames right now, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, he's been pretty highly touted as a next big goalie prospect, and it's good when they actually do it.
Yeah.
Because you always hear about these guys, they're supposed to be the next big thing, and it never happens. So it's good to see
Dustin
Wolf
Wolf.
starting off on the right.
Is Dustin Wolf Canadian?
Yep.
Oh,
Or actually, he might be American.
fuck. Can you Google that? Because like that's one thing we're really struggling with is as Canada is the goaltenders.
Yeah, American.
Ah.
Gilroy, California.
Dang, because I would have said this would be maybe. I don't even think it would be a controversial take at all. If he was Canadian, I would be looking at him at least in a backup role for a major candidate. But obviously he's American, so that's that viewpoint is nil.
Yeah, don't do us no good.
No.
We're stuck with Jordan Binnington.
Oh, buddy. What else we got here? I got this tweet from Mike Bartner. I think he's he must be a New York Islander guy. I thought he was a more of an Oiler guy, but he's asking, are the Rangers on fraud watch? They're not looking like when Canucks played them. Like Canucks are really low man right now. They don't have like four of their top like 5 guys or 6 guys in the lineup, and like Canucks had a really good chance to beat them, and then they go into Calgary, they lose, and then they just get absolutely destroyed by the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, what are your takes? Are they on fraud watch right now, or are they just?
Yeah, I think they're on the watch. I wouldn't go full board, but they're definitely on the watch.
Yeah.
That's the 4th in the Metro right now. I mean, you got to do better than Washington. Like, come on.
Washington's like looking good, but then that's something I didn't bookmark. Ovechkin's injured. He scores a hat trick, or 2 goals. He scored 2 goals and then got injured, or did he score a hat trick? I get
Hattie.
Yeah, it was a Hattie, and then literally got injured. Like, oh man, that sucked. Like, just because we're all just talking, like, holy hell! Like, it was like we did that podcast, and then he played for a couple games, still scored, and then had like 15 goals. He had the most goals at any time in his career out of the first like 20 games or whatever. And we're like, holy, he's gonna be hitting this goal mark, this Wayne Gretzky goal mark, like this year. And now broken fibula out, what they say, 4 weeks. I mean, Ovechkin's a tank, so
I think I heard 6 to 8.
6 to 8, yeah. Well, originally it was reported like week to week or something, and then it's like, no, he broke his fibula. Like,
yeah, broken leg a little more than day to day.
Yeah. I seen November 18th is when the injury happened. So for Washington sports, November 18th, and like when Alex Smith broke his leg playing for the Redskins.
Yep.
It was the same day, and then November 18th in the 80s as they're starting. I forget what his name was. They're starting.
Joe Theismann.
Yes, he broke his leg on that day, and obviously Ovechkin's is not as serious of a case as how those guys broke their leg. But it's crazy that Washington sports, their star players breaking their legs on the same day. They should Washington as a whole should just not be playing major sports on November 18th, beer league, whatever. I mean, no, just have a day of mourning on that day, and just don't play any games. Anyone? I'm talking little league. You know, the guys are breaking their legs out there.
Yeah, crazy for sure. Sucks to see. We might not see Obi break the record this year. I mean, he might still do it, but it's highly unlikely now.
What else we got here? This guy's tweet: a Saturday night without a Leafs game is a crime by the NHL. Obviously, but they got the only game on Sunday.
I mean, it's tough because every team plays 82 games, but there's more than 82 days in the season.
Yeah.
So ideally, you'd have the Leafs play every night, but you can't work. So you got to deal with these, these dark, depressing days where you don't get to see your favorite Toronto Maple Leafs play.
Yeah.
But that's just, they got to get rested for the next game. Like, I know it sucks when there's no Leafs on. I don't know what to do with myself when the Leafs aren't playing.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. If you probably feel the same way.
Oh, I don't really want to watch hockey. I just feel depressed. It sucks when the Leafs aren't playing, especially on a Saturday night. Like,
probably rake a lot of leaves though.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? The worst is when they don't even play like in between days. Like, if I had it my way, it'd be back-to-backs all year long. But when they have to play between one game, it's like, okay, I can live with that at least. I won't be so depressed. But if it's between two games, oh buddy, like, what's the NHL doing here?
Yeah, that's tough, man. Not seeing the Leafs play.
Even when like the NHL takes a break for like the Olympics and things, like that sucks because that's like the Leafs should still be playing whether the Olympics on or like they're obviously the more important thing, right? All-Star break,
yeah,
like have Leafs games going.
Yeah, but with the Olympics, like the Leafs are playing in the Olympics.
Yeah, but
they're borrowing some of the guys and
but the
All-Star team. The Leafs are always there.
You know though that the Leafs are an All-Star team, so why do you even have to go through the Olympic thing? Just play the Leafs. Like the Leafs can just take on the nation, right? The nation.
That's what it should be. The All-Star game. It should be Leafs versus the world.
Yeah. Oh man. Askarov got called up and he got scored on like a really shitty goal right off the hop. It was a center ice goal or something. I think he ended up having a decent game after that though, but kind of shitty little call up of Sharks debut and yeah. That's it for NHL news that I got. You got anything more?
I got nothing.
Oh, here on that Drew Bannister getting fired by St. Louis. I picked up a little tweet here from our boy Steve Dangle, friend of the pod, big Leafs guy. He says,
just like us.
He in his tweet he writes, the Penguins have the worst points percentage in the East. Drew Bannister played for and coached the Sault Ste. Greyhounds. These are two things that you don't have to be related, but for those that don't know, Kyle Dubas, big Sault Ste. Marie Greyhound guy, and he hires all his Sioux Greyhound guys, and so keep an eye out on Drew Bannister going to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
It's good to keep an eye on them.
So, just I had to put that in there because there's also Steve Dangle. I mean, that's where I get all my news from.
Most trusted beef source we got.
Yeah. Super cool guy, like super level-headed guy, like just every podcast he does and every rant it's just awesome. He's really level-headed.
God, I love Steve Dangle, friend of the show.
Very very neutral in his opinions. Okay, on to NHL this week. Standings watch. We've got Toronto Maple Leafs, the top of the division, top of the Atlantic, buddy. I think not top of the Eastern Conference yet, but top of the division with 28 points, 7-2-1 last 10, 4 wins in a row. Boys, the Leafs are streaking, and we love to see it.
See it.
Florida Panthers are they're on a bit of a losing skid. Lost 3 in a row. Buffalo Sabres, third in the Atlantic. 3-win streak, 7-3-0 in the last 10. 11-9-1. That Atlantic is still wide open, but you love to see Buffalo, kind of sitting.
we know first in the Atlantic's locked up already.
Yeah.
But second and third are wide open.
Yep, and wild card. Boston Bruins, they've won 2 in a row. I think they've won. Oh, they must have won two with Joe Sacco. So quietly, they've got the coaching bump a bit, which was expected. Tampa Bay Lightning lost 1, 4-4-2 in the last 10. Detroit Red Wings, Ottawa Senators, Montreal Canadiens. These teams are looking like the same as what they were. A lot of hype going into the season with Detroit Red Wings and Ottawa Senators, and they look the exact same, maybe even worse. Those are two teams that are clearly they're like the same. And I watched the Canucks versus Ottawa Senators game the other night, and holy hell, man, Ottawa does not look good.
No. No, they have not progressed.
It's sad because I'm kind of Ottawa's like my second favorite Canadian team, but
Second to Toronto.
Yeah. I've liked I liked them because when we were kids, you had the Alfredson, Danny Heatley, Heater, Spezza, Ray Emery, going to the Cup final. 50-07. It's just they had good teams back in the day, and that's why they're up there. But now, it's just, man, I don't know. They just seem poorly coached. They seem poorly managed. It's not like they're not getting star talent to Ottawa, free agency. Guys have gone there. Linus Ullmark got traded there. He doesn't look good. I kind of call that too, though. It's Linus Ullmark was kind of put into Boston's system for years, and I believe that's what made him a good goaltender. Because before that, he was with Buffalo, and it wasn't looking great.
He put up good numbers on a really, really bad Buffalo teams. He looked like he had the potential for more, but it helped him playing in Boston, obviously.
Yeah. Well, because he won a Vezina there and everything too, right? In Boston and
better team and everything.
But
that's what you talk about. Fans of teams are always talking about, we need to blow it up, rebuild kind of thing. You look at teams like the Red Wings and the Senators. You could throw the Ducks in there. Yeah, trying to see what else I can throw in there. But those are the examples off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Where they did it and they've just been brute. And getting out of it, we haven't seen enough getting out of it from a lot of these teams that are doing this now.
Yeah.
Or I guess Utah, Arizona as well. That's another one right there.
Yeah.
So it is kind of a thing where it's team should be, but there's got to be something in the culture or something that that you don't see from the outside, where it's these teams that have stripped it down to the studs have a hard time getting back up out of it.
Yeah, a couple teams that I think have been able to get out of it, strip it down, get it out. I believe Carolina did it years ago, and they never totally stripped down, I guess. But and then
stripping it down, everything is fairly recent. Teams have been bad and have gotten up, but I mean this just cleaving out a lot of veterans and stripping it down to nothing. Teams have been bad. It's sold off pieces, but it feels like it's been different.
The Devils sort of
10 years.
The Devils sort of did it, and they've been successful, but they won their first overall picks multiple times.
Yeah, then they had the big breakout 2 years ago, and then they fell off last year.
Missed the playoffs.
They seem to be back. Seem to be back together.
Yeah.
Again this year. But even them, it took a while.
But yeah, you kind of want to look more another example. The LA Kings, the way they did it was they still had Kopitar, Doughty, all these guys. They stripped it down, sort of to the bare bones of those two guys. Were bad for a couple of years, and then they drafted good, and then all of a sudden they just signed a bunch of guys, traded for a bunch of guys, built a core with young and old, and now they've been successful the last couple of years. That's kind of the way you got to do it, because like doing what Chicago and Montreal are doing, and Anaheim, San Jose, it's like, man, you got to have your 27-year-olds, your like good like yeah, like to put it on like a guy like Connor Bedard's like basically just like it's tough. It's a lot on a guy. You need to have veteran presence around, and I think it just you get the good picks, but it takes a while. On that note, that Macklin Celebrini kid, he's looking good. Hey, he's looking really good ever since he came back from injury.
Yeah, I was going to add on to the last point there about like you bring these kids in and you expect like a 18, 19-year-old kid to lead a team in a men's league. It doesn't happen right away. Like you got to get that experience going through and kind of build guys up a bit instead of just throwing them on the first line, see if they sink or swim in the NHL. Yeah.
Okay, on to the Metropolitan. New Jersey Devils rolling along 7-3-0 in the last 10. Carolina Hurricanes 6-3-1. Washington Capitals are kind of evened out a bit, 5-4-1 last 10. Lost 2 straight. Obviously, Ovechkin's been out. Tough to see. New York Rangers 6-4, lost 2 in a row on fraud watch. The New York Islanders are just, the New York Islanders 4-3. Columbus Blue Jackets are Columbus Blue Jackets. Flyers and Penguins are trash. Western Conference, we got the Winnipeg Jets. They've lost a couple games, but they're still 7-3-0 in the last 10. 17-4-0 still to lead the league. You got Minnesota Wild. They're quietly having a really nice season, the Wild there?
Yeah, they're a good team.
Yeah. They're 6-2-2 in the last 10. Dallas Stars, they're going. They kind of had a bit of a dip, and then now they're going now 6-4-0 in the last 10, win 2 in a row. Colorado Avalanche is starting to show up as a Colorado Avalanche team. 7-3-0 last 10. Wins in last 3 wins in a row. Utah is there, kind of still in that same Arizona mindset where they're just mediocre, and they're probably not going to make the playoffs. St. Louis, same thing, mediocre. Nashville, they're still rough, but they're being average at least now instead of really bad. Blackhawks suck. On to the Pacific, Vegas Golden Knights 6-3-1 their last 10, win 2 in a row. They're looking like the pick out of the Pacific. Calgary Flames are starting to go on another heater. They kind of dipped off. They started out good, then they dipped off, went average, and now they're back. Wins and 4 straight wins. Don't know how. Like the roster's just not. It's on paper, it doesn't scream at you, but they're still just like good goaltending. Dustin Wolf, man, I think that's the ticket there, right?
Yeah, it definitely helps. I mean, they're in it. You get good enough goaltending. You don't have a bunch of stars, but you still have some guys there that are capable. I mean, Huberto's looked a lot better this year now. They still have guys that can take on the roles while they bring in their young guys, which is how you're saying you're supposed to do it. They kind of remind me a lot of last year's Flyers. Yeah. Where the Flyers were punching above their weight.
Yeah. For a long time. Long period of time too.
But they looked better than we all expected for most of the year.
Yeah. LA Kings 5-4-1 wins. They're still good. They're good, and then they averaged off a bit, but they're still winning games and like winning 1, winning 2, losing 1. Same thing with the Oilers. They're kind of getting back into it. Still kind of look dog shit at sometimes, and then they look good, and then they look, There's a lot of heat on the Stuart Skinner right now, and actually reports that John Gibson's open and willing to get traded there. You think a deal for John Gibson is something that fancies you?
Doesn't fancy me at all because he hasn't been good in like 5 years at least. But
Yeah.
Stan Bowman's our GM. I mean, John Gibson was good in like 2015, 2016
Yeah.
when Stan Bowman was in his prime.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I don't think it solves the problem.
I don't think you'd have to pay a lot for John Gibson.
No. Anaheim will probably have to retain half.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it solves the problem.
Yeah. But yeah, about Stewie Skinny, I guess, I've seen lots of reporting that they're not really, people aren't really happy about Stewie Skinny, but Stan Bowman and Brass, they're willing to die on the Stewie Skinny hill.
Yeah, I don't know. He hasn't been good at all this year. That's not too much to say about it.
Okay.
He just hasn't been good.
Yeah, I just wanted your opinion on Oilers. Obviously, I don't follow the Oilers as much, but that's just kind of what I've been hearing. You got Vancouver Canucks. They're 6-4, 6-4-0 in the last 10. 10-6-3 on the season. It's just tough right now because they're missing so many good guys. Brock Besser's out. JT Miller obviously gone for personal reasons. Thatcher Demko, although he'll be back soon. It's lots of moving parts there right now. But if they can keep their head above water until all those guys kind of come back, especially when JT comes back, and Elias Pettersson's starting to really go now. And this was expected, and he's starting to it was I think 4 straight games he got a goal, and he's really started. I think he's back up almost to a point per game, close to it at least now, and so that's good. And he's looked really engaged. And that line with Kiefer Sherwood, this Kiefer Sherwood guy, man, he's actually got some scoring ability. He doesn't just he hits 10 times. Dash 1 really really lucked out with this Kiefer Sherwood guy in our league.
Yeah, I mean, just hits all the time, which you like to see that. Pops in a few goals. And
he's playing with Elias Pettersson right now, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's recipe for a good fantasy find for sure.
Yeah. Seattle Kraken average. Anaheim Ducks. They're 8-3. I mean, they're average. I think it's only because Lucas Dostal's good. It's the only reason why they have wins. San Jose Sharks, like I said, Macklin Celebrini has been a breath of fresh air. They're kind of a feisty team. They seem to come back in games a little bit and then lose in overtime recently. They got 5 overtime losses. So they've been kind of coming back and giving teams a run for their money.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you got to do is keep fighting eventually. Maybe start winning.
Yeah. All right, that's it for the standings. We can head into our fantasy league now, boys. First things first, the trade deadline, I guess we had here.
Yeah, it felt like it for sure.
Yeah, who would have known that a Utah City Soaker, Salt Lake City Soakers versus Toronto Maple Leafs game would spark a mid-season or early season trade deadline.
Just so everybody knows, you could still make trades tomorrow. Week's not over.
So the thing that was, I'll give a little insight. Obviously, you guys are in the league, you probably know, but the matchups, there was multiple matchups that were really tight heading into the last day, Sunday today. Extremely tight matchups, and so these Utah guys, Toronto Maple Leafs guys, are really sought after. And I kind of talked to you, Yags, a little bit before and I was like, oh man, like Clayton Keller got 3 assists. Like I'm thinking of shopping him, and you're probably getting like, you're probably at the height of his value right now because he's playing tomorrow, and there's a lot of tight matchups. Like guys are gonna want to make that move. What do you know? I make Clayton Keller available, and boom, I think it was 4 offers within like 20 minutes of me messaging that in the message boards. I had one offer that one trade I was like talking to another guy for that I feel like if we talked a little bit more we could have got something done, but obviously I got the really good one that came across my desk and I just had to take it. But was that the one is that the first trade of the week?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll jump into that one. Obviously, everyone kind of knows about it. Rototiller trades Vinny Trocheck and a round 15. Vinny Trocheck, two-way center, awesome fantasy player, awesome player. Gets a lot of face-off wins, shoots the puck a lot, gets a lot of peripheral points, and also can score goals. He's just great for our league, the way our league is set up. He's like ranked 20 on the year at the time of the trade. So I gave up Clayton Keller in a 4th round pick. And Clayton Keller, first 2 weeks of the season, just really good. I was really excited about it. And then ever since that, man, it's just been like donuts he's been putting up, or like 2 points, like 3 points. And then he finally had a 3-assist game on his last day on my team. And then I kind of capitalized on the height of that. Obviously, the consensus around the league is an absolute fleece job. Like if a trade like this comes across my desk, I didn't sought this trade out. Obviously, I've had conversations about Vinny Trocheck in the past because I know Rototiller for some reason wanted to trade him, but we just couldn't get a deal done. And then finally, I guess at this micro trade deadline, there was time that he finally offered Vinny Trocheck, and I really had to I pressed the accept on that.
You didn't want to keep. You don't want to keep Keller and go for the comeback.
No, I mean there was a pretty foregone after I got all his offers. I was probably gonna make a deal that night, and I kind of accepted Keller was no longer going to be on my team. And then this one was the last of the offers, and it just came across my desk, and obviously Rototiller was in a tight matchup. We'll get into that on how that worked out for him, but yeah, I had to take this. Obviously, Rototiller gets a 4th round pick back as well. I mean, that's nothing. I got cup aspirations. I know I'm in a bit of a losing streak, but I got cup aspirations, and Vinny Trocheck just makes my team so much better. So this is that 4th round pick's a nothing burger. Clayton Keller, I could have replaced him on the free agency with his production, really.
So I don't have too much to say about this, but I do have a release from an anonymous source, an anonymous owner in our league, and he wants me to read it on air.
Yeah.
So I am going to read it on air. Again, this is an anonymous. I will not divulge information on who this is, but it is a member of the league. And okay, so here we go. An anonymous fantasy hockey team has issued a statement expressing serious concern regarding a recent trade in the league involving Team Rototiller and Team Ain't No Regretskis. The trade in question saw Rototiller parting ways with Vincent Trocheck, currently performing at an elite level in fantasy hockey, in exchange for Clayton Keller, whose performance this season has been serviceable, but far from spectacular. This transaction may not have been conducted on a level playing field, citing the possibility that Ain't No Regretskis may have taken advantage of Rototiller's advanced age and potential lack of awareness of Trocheck's surging value. This is a quote. There's a quote inside the statement. So this is the start of the quote. "We're not here to point fingers, but this trade raises some serious red flags," said the anonymous source. "Trocheck is red hot right now, and a fantasy cornerstone for any team. On the other hand, Keller's numbers don't reflect the same level of dominance. This deal could alter the competitive balance of the league, and we owe it to all managers to ensure fair and ethical trading practices. The source emphasized the importance of transparency in league transactions and called for league commissioners to investigate the trade. We respect the right of managers to make trades that benefit their teams, but fairness must be the cornerstone of any league. If any undue influence was used, or if Team Rototiller was not fully informed of Trocheck's current fantasy value, it could set a dangerous precedent. The anonymous team is urging the league to carefully review the circumstances surrounding the deal to ensure that no exploitation or unfair advantage occurred. This isn't about punishing anyone, the statement concluded. It's about maintaining the integrity of the game we all love. The anonymous team encourages fellow league members to voice any concerns and advocate for fair play moving forward. End of statement.
Yeah, so it sounds like this guy has just got his panties in a knot because a good deal came across my desk. Isn't that what it is? I mean, I didn't seek this out. So there's, okay, obviously I'm in the trade. I'm obviously biased. I gotta.
You might have to recuse yourself in the investigation.
Okay, so here's my thoughts on this. So, Rototiller's been in this league for years. We're 7 years in. I think he's been in for 5 years. Since joining this league, Rototiller has made absurd trades, like ridiculous trades that you're like, holy hell, he lost the moment it happened. This trade comes across my desk, and now it's a big investigation. Like, this has never happened before. Like, Rototiller is the source of this here.
It's not an investigation. It's a call for an investigation.
Okay. So,
hey, I'm not on. I'm since you're partial to, I have to remain impartial.
Okay.
As much as I can.
So, what are your thoughts then? Because
this is an anonymous source.
I know who it is, but I know who it is, but
no, you don't.
It sounds like it sounds like he's really pissy that I took advantage of a situation where he needed to win the next day, and that's what Rototiller's done in the past. He has made trades just for on a week-to-week basis just to win his matchup. That's how much of don't get me at this old age stuff. Rototiller's had great success in this fantasy hockey league. He's had more success than
I wouldn't go great success.
He makes the playoffs consistently, and every year we bash his team for being bad. But he is, as a manager, he makes really weird moves. This one, obviously, probably one of his worst, but he's made some really bad ones in the past. But he is a very capable manager. I know he's obviously he's sober right now, which that's probably not good for him. But I took advantage of putting a player out there available, and I said even in it, hey, if anyone wants to trade for him to win your matchup, he's a good player to have. He's arguably Utah's best player. He's their captain, yeah, like I said, there was no negotiation process in this trade. It was offered, and I accepted it.
Yeah, well, we'll see how news goes. I might talk to Rototiller as well, do my full investigation, and see what I come up with. I'm going to refrain from further comment at this time.
All right. So obviously, Vinny Trocheck also has a key. Like, that's another thing. The keeper value on Vinny Trocheck is like a 12th round or an 11th round this year, which is, I was shocked when this came across my desk. I will say it, but I also said it in our group chat, Yags. I said it like, man, if this was like a new guy in the league who sent this, I wouldn't have accepted it. But it's Rototiller. He's been in this league. He knows how this league works. I mean, He knows how the league works. He's been in it for a while. But he's just a riverboat gambler, man. And you'll see it. He made another trade here that's also questionable. So I'll just leave it at that. But he's a very capable member of this league, playoff team. He's won one playoff series. He's had some good battles, and he'll continue to do that. He'll continue to surprise with wins.
Wouldn't want you to spend too much time on it. You might want to plead the fifth a bit here.
Okay. So next trade, we got Dylan Guenther and a 6th-round pick traded to Rototiller for Jake Neighbors and a 4th. So this is another situation where Rototiller wants to win his matchup. Gives essentially the 4th I basically gave him and makes it a 6th to acquire Dylan Guenther. Jake Neighbors, 172 rank on the year. Dylan Guenther, 156. Really, that trade, honestly, I feel like that trade could have just gone 1-for-1 in real-time value, but nonetheless, it's capitalizing on a guy playing on a Sunday on the only game and to try to win your matchup. So I guess that's where the 2 rounds come into play.
Yeah, I think I'd almost have, straight up 1-for-1. I'd rather have Guenther, but I don't know if the pick valuation, especially that high up, tickles my fancy for to the side. Obviously, Dash 1 does pretty well in this. If it was a later round pick, I think it would be whatever. I think the picks are a little high stakes.
I also think Dylan Guenther is more of a he's good like a certain games, like he'll be good one game and then he won't have very good peripheral stats for a couple games and they'll be good, and then he'll it's like a very spotty when he's good. Whereas Jake Neighbors, I think he's just consistently getting like a decent amount of points, not gonna world break you every game. So but that's my point on the two players. But little tidy piece of business. Dash 1 goes up 2 rounds and gets a somewhat similar value out of points, but gets that extra pick, right? Or extra 2 rounds. Next trade, we got Pickle Peppers acquiring Michael Kesselring for Adam Larson from Marner's Millions. This is kind of similar to what I did last week, where I traded a 17th round pick and a player for a guy playing on the last day to make another ad, essentially. Yeah, that's essentially all it was. I mean, both of these players will probably be dropped. I don't think they're too much in value, but just getting another Utah guy.
Yeah, and then so Marner's gets the 17th round with Larson. Pickle Peppers gets the 18th with Kesselring. Minor deal, but one of those deals. Pickle Peppers is playing Rototiller this weekend. Rototiller was loading up.
He had to
Peppers. They had to counterbalance a little bit. Yeah. Make a move.
I will say, Pickle Peppers was also in on he made an offer for Keller as well, so he was in on it. Just obviously Rototiller had the better offer. So just put insight on that matchup as we go forward trading. Next trade. This was a bit of a blockbuster here. We got Andre Vasilevsky going to Rototiller with a 9th and an 18th round. Hipsters and Hoes acquiring a 1st and a 3rd. This is some high value right now.
Big time trade.
Vasilevsky's a good goaltender. He's good.
I mean, he's ranked 19th right now on the year.
Yep.
Set in stone starter for Tampa Bay, who they haven't been setting the world on fire this year, but it's Tampa Bay. It's Andre Vasilevsky. Big time name value. You're going to get the starts out of him.
And their backup in Tampa Bay is awful.
Yeah, they're not going to play him unless they absolutely have to.
Yeah.
But it's a steep price. paid a first-round pick and a third-round pick.
Yeah,
Big-time trade, especially this early in the year.
because you don't know how Rototiller is going to be.
You don't know how he's going to be the rest of the year. He will be better with
Vasilevsky.
Andre Vasilevsky instead of not having Andre Vasilevsky. We'll see how it goes. Andre made Vasilevsky available in trade. He had a lot of goalies. I myself was trying to think up what I was going to send in an offer. I was too late.
Yep.
I wasn't going to match this offer.
This is an offer you can't refuse, like the Godfather.
This is Godfather, yeah.
Yeah, this is just like Vinny Trocheck. So this is what Rototiller does, man. He's a riverboat gambler. Like, he likes to trade his picks. And this is just, I don't think he's had a first-round pick in the last 4 years.
Probably been a while.
He's 4-3 on the season still. I mean, it's, yeah. I wouldn't have done this pick. I feel like this would be more of a trade deadline acquisition, but I guess, yeah, you got Andre Vasilevsky for the whole season now, right? Compared to a couple weeks at the trade deadline. So maybe this is what keeps Rototiller in the playoff race.
Yeah, and for the sellers this year, when we get to the point where teams start folding in for next year, the major trade chip off the board, Rototiller's first being gone.
And third,
because a lot of other teams are rather hesitant to give up their first-round picks. Rototiller will let that thing fly each and every year, but most other GMs hold on to their first-round picks. It'll be harder to get one away from somebody. But let's see how the trade deadline goes.
Yeah, next trade we got Jason Stauber as a throw-in and an 11th round pick to Sedin and Limbo for Karel Veggie Milkers, obviously the starting goaltender for the Utah City Soakers, and a 17th round pick. Basically reacquires Veggie Milkers, and a reversal of a very similar trade that happened a week ago to the exact same person. I mean, if there's to be any investigation, this is one that you'd want to investigate. But honestly, before the podcast, Yeggs and I talked about it. We're like, Veggie Milkers was a free agent about 2 weeks ago, available to anyone. It's not like he's a star caliber player at the time of his trades. So I don't really have a problem with this. I mean, obviously, if this were to happen again in the same situation, I think this was just kind of like hey, keeper can reacquire Veggie Milkers for exactly what he paid for, and Sedin and Limbo doesn't need him anymore, so they made that trade. And obviously, keeper hardly nowhere really needed him for his matchup.
Yeah, they're reacquiring for the same price is a little weird. We'll see how the public takes it. We haven't heard anything yet, and this trade happened 8 hours ago, or 7.5. We'll see if public outcry gets to the point where I got to step in and throw my investigator hat on again.
Yeah, I feel like if we see this similar Karel Veggie Milker situation go on with these two exact teams again, you gotta start really investigating this. But right now, it's fair. It's within the rule books. But I gotta say, three times. I don't know.
And also, another unrelated sidebar. I do want to get this out though. We're seeing a lot more of these trades with pick swappings than we have in other years, especially early in the year. Keep track of who you want to keep and what pick you need to keep them. I'm not here next September when I tell you don't have the pick for that guy. I don't want to hear any bitching because you traded it on a Sunday in November or whatever. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
just keep that in the back of your noggins. If you come to me in September, what do you mean I don't have that pick? Yeah, you fucking traded it, bud. Nothing I can do about that.
Okay,
So
so
keep that in mind.
for an example, Yags, just show on the podcast. If you're watching the podcast right now, Yags can show you how to just check on your guys' keeper value. Like if you're on a computer, if you have access to a computer, how you can easily just find their keeper value without asking us. Obviously, if you ask us, we can let you know fairly easily. I'll update the salaries as well, but
It's Veggie Milkers is a bad example.
yeah, go
Let me
Andre
Let me
Vest.
go Dylan Gunther. I think this is easier.
Yeah.
So you click on him on the little news thing next to his name. But then you go to history. You've seen he was drafted in the 7th round. Always goes up a round. So Dylan Gunther costs you a 6 next year.
Unless he's a rookie.
Unless he's a rookie. He isn't, though. He played
No,
last year.
no. I'm just saying unless like the guy that you're looking at is a rookie. But yeah, no, Dylan Gunther played like 40 games last year, I believe. But yeah,
45.
yeah. So that's just how you do it on the phone. If you only have access to your phone, you just go like if you have them on your roster, still from day one, you just go to your draft history and you can figure it out from there. I don't think you have the history option on the phone, but
No.
yeah, you just go to your draft history and you can find out his value. If at any point you added him from free agency, he's worth a 10th.
If he was a rookie that you added from the free agent, 14.
Yeah. And then if he's traded, his value is still what he was drafted at. Pretty clear. It's pretty easy, but people still struggle with it. All right, buddy. Let's head into the matchups.
Which one you want to do first?
Yeah, just get ours out of the way first. It'll probably take the most time.
I think we kind of already talked about it a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I do got my press release I have to issue as well. Post matchup talk. But yeah, what happened was essentially what I said earlier. I was not ready for this matchup. My team's a bit of a fraud. You know what? It's a fraud right now. Yags took it to me. Yags had 10 more players than me playing. Excuses. I know I should have been better. Sucks being here today, having to discuss this. But yeah, 3 losses in a row. Losing to Yags always sucks. Yeah, nothing more. No excuses. I can't be bitching more about this. You're the better team, and you took it to me, and you took it to me early, and it really was never much of a fight.
Yeah, not too much to say other than I won. I beat you. You lost.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha.
Sucks. It really does suck, but I mean, whatever.
I win the podcast matchup of the week.
For now. Oh, for the week for sure. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
Sucks.
play you again in the regular season.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yep. 1-0.
All right. Well, I guess this is time. I got to issue my press release from my team. The fans are pissed. It's just I gotta do something now, and I gotta issue a reassurance for the fans and let them know the mindset going in further. We don't have any words, and we don't know. Oh, and we know you don't want to hear them. We understand your anger, your frustration, your sadness, everything you're feeling. We get it. This isn't the ending we imagined, and certainly not the one we wanted. Thank you for being there the entire way. That's just the classic Tampa Bay Lightning. Yeah, Tampa Bay Lightning. I just had to throw that in there. Okay, for the real press release, we got in a bold move aimed at reinvigorating the team's performances during a challenging stretch of 3 consecutive losses, Aino Regretskis has announced the trade of fan favorite forward Clayton Keller to Rototiller in exchange for veteran center Vinny Trocheck. Keller, known for his heart and soul contributions on and off the ice, has been a cornerstone of Aino Regretskis for 7 weeks. His leadership, skill, and tenacity have made little to no impact, and this decision was made very easily. Clayton, this is quotes from the general manager, Clayton has been a complete failure minus a stretch in weeks 1 and 2. Honestly, should have traded him then, said the GM, Braden, myself, from third person. We are ungrateful for his contributions and wish him nothing in his future endeavors. In Trocheck, Aino Regretskis welcomes a proven competitor who brings a wealth of experience and talent with a reputation for being a dynamic two-way player. Trocheck has consistently delivered strong offensive performances, making him a perfect fit for this team's aspirations. This is a quote from general manager again, myself. Vinny is a player who can elevate our game and provide the depth we need. We believe he will be instrumental in turning our season around. Despite the disappointment of recent losses, the management team remains optimistic about the future. Change is never easy, but we believe this move is necessary for the long-term success of this franchise. We are committed to building a competitive team that our fans can be proud of. The organization appreciates the support of its fans during this transitional phase and looks forward to the rest of the season as we reclaim our winning ways. So, I mean, it just needs to be said. There's lots of there's a lot of anger, angst towards my team right now. The fraud watch is on. We're the New York Rangers of the NHL. If 3 straight losses, I mean, we're on such a high. We were 4-0. We beat Aho, and then it's just been downhill from there. I'll just commend. I'll add on to the press release, and then that'll be it. I just want to say, keep watching. Things are going to get better. Vinny Trocheck coming to the team. This is just a step in the right direction, and for all those loyal to this organization, just keep watching because we really want to bring a cup home again.
Nice release, buddy.
I had to do it.
This press release thing better not become a thing we have to do every week. Way too much. Way too time consuming, man.
Well, we're in the thick of it, man. Like teams are shaping up to what they are, and there's lots of worry, right? Okay, we can head.
No worry over.
We can head into the next matchup here. We got Dash 1 versus West Coast Express. Dash 1 takes a win. Finally, takes out. He's on a 4-game losing streak. 381.75 to West Coast Express's 335. Well, I think it was a fairly close matchup, but Dash 1 really took over the team and got a win and a very much needed win. He took care of business.
Yeah, he definitely needed that. Gator also needed it, but clearly he didn't get it. His teammate looking too good. Dash 1, good to get it. He needed to kickstart the team again, and it looks like he got a big win this week. See how he does going forward.
Yeah. Next matchup, we got Mariners Millions 295.25 to Larry Love's 241.25. Very low scoring matchup. Mariners Millions probably just coasted it and didn't really make a whole lot of. He was probably looking more forward to his next matchup. Obviously, Larry Love's a bit of a easy win in this league. Unfortunately, it seems like he's mailed it in. But that'll happen. I mean, you're in a 16-team league. There's going to be teams that are not looking so good.
Yeah, not too much to say on this one. Pretty low scoring. Mariners 5-2. He's a guy who we've seen likes to fire off an early pick in a trade early in the year too. We might see it happen.
I think we already did. Well, technically a 5th-round pick for Logan Thompson.
Oh yeah. So I guess he's already done it.
Yeah. But like I said, I feel like his low scoring there was a little more because of the lackluster opponent that he was facing. If you catch my drift, maybe a bye week, as you would say.
Yeah, but you still got to put up points because points for it kind of determines ties and.
Yeah, and the tickets, the A&W
tickets.
tickets to the Canucks game as well. Little bonus, right?
Little bonus, yeah.
Yeah, but also you get it per win too. So obviously he's not too concerned about that. Next matchup, you got Mako Lantern just fucking firing on all cylinders. Holy hell, this week was insane, man. Like absolute rocket of a week. 461.75. Did not need it, but just destroys Flyhammer at 230. Yeah,
Doubled him.
crazy. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Obviously, a shout out to highest score of the week. He's the only one that hit 400 points and hit 461. Just absolutely thrashed him. On his team, he's got Josh Norris 30 points. He's got Claude Giroux 39 points. Wallman from San Jose, that's been a nice add from San Jose. He's been really going. He's like their best defender, right? So he's been really good for San Jose. He's got a lot of guys on his team that are on shitty teams like Claude Giroux and Norris and Wallman that are really, really hammering down and getting the points for those respective teams. Uyghur for Calgary, 43 points. Zach Werenski, 57 points. He had an insane game, like a 5-point game the one day. Just absolutely just went off. 57, that's insane from a defender too, and a great keeper value on Werenski as well. Montembeault, Montreal goaltender, got him 32 points. It's just really good effort out there for Mako Lantern. Nick. Nick's looking good. He's 4-3. Obviously, the draft capital wasn't there for him, but he's capitalized on free agents and low draft picks.
Yeah, banger of a week for sure. Werenski, it was like 35 fantasy points, maybe even more from Werenski that one day.
Yeah, he's scored 160 in one day. He's like texting our group chat. He's like, I got 160 points today. Where meanwhile I got like 50. Just being an average dud.
Yeah, I'm looking for 160 points in the week, but fuck off.
Yeah. No, just crazy. It just kind of sucks that it came out on a Flyhammer. Just beat the guy while he was down. Flyhammer goes to 3-4, and McElhandry goes to 4-3. Next matchup, Rototiller.
This is
Oh, wow. You take this one because I have no words.
So Rototiller, Pickled Peppers. Good matchup throughout the week. Close most of the way through. And then we see that flurry of trades we talked about. Those guys didn't do shit for Rototiller. He loses 376.75 to 339.25. I think it was like 333 to 353 at the start of the day. Just an embarrassing loss for Rototiller after doing all that to win this close matchup. To lose it by more than when he started the day. That's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah,
that's brutal.
To start the day, it was 328.5 to 333.5.
Oh, so even closer.
Yeah. So I understand Rototiller making moves. Just at that capacity was a little much. Totally bombs on the moves that he made.
We talked about how we get the strategy, but it blew up in his face, and that's funny.
And with all that draft capital and everything that he traded away, his players that he traded away to secure a win and not secure a win, that was all for nothing. And it's tough to see for Rototiller, but it kind of blew up in his face. I know in the past it hasn't blown up in his face, and it looked good. He made the win. And now when he made those trades, it was almost like, oh, he actually might do something here with it, right? Like this is, but it was Utah versus Toronto. Toronto's been really good defensively too, so I kind of already could sense that it wasn't going to go well for him. But yeah, tough.
Not tough at all. Funny as shit.
It was funny because like at 8:35 a.m. today, Pickle Peppers messaged in the chat. He's like, after all those trades, he's like, anyone else want to trade their Utah players to Rototiller? For fuck's sake. LOL. But he had the last laugh.
I had Jack McBain playing today, and I threw him up, and not a bite.
Yeah, no doubt. Tough. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not tough at all. It's the
Yeah.
funniest shit I've seen all week. This is almost as funny as me beating you.
And like Rototiller not like, so he was only 3 points or 5 points behind, and he only getting I think it's about 11 points on the day, compared to Pickle Peppers is blowing up. His guys just like going off compared to what Rototiller did. Yeah, Pickle Peppers, yeah, he got that win. He needed it. Pickle Peppers continues rolling on 5-2. Rototiller go down to 4-3. Another team that is also on a three game losing streak. At one point, Aino Rogretzky, myself, and Rototiller were 4-0. I'm on the same pedestal as Rototiller right now.
It's not where you want to be. Right?
No, I know. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Anything more on this matchup?
Not too much. Don't kick a man when he's down.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Dirty Dan. So that was one of the closest matchups. That one, and then there was two more that were like three more. So there's 4 total matchups that were decided today, that were within striking distance. This next matchup, Dirty Dancers versus the Dust Show. This one was within striking distance, but you can kind of tell that Dirty Dancers was going to take it, because as soon as the Leafs announced that Joseph Woll was going to be starting, it was like, okay, well, he's got the goaltender to do it, and yeah, it was. We all kind of just realized that it was gonna happen like that, because Dirty Dancers, he started the day with 340 points. The Dust Show started the day with 355. So Dust Show only had one guy playing today, and then Dirty Dancers had he had, I think, Nylander playing and Woll, and then maybe a couple other Leafs or whatever. And ends the day with 393. Oh, and Tavares.
Yeah, Tavares, Nylander, and Woll.
Yeah, Dirty Dancers. Yeah, Dirty Dancers is on a 4-game win streak now. Just really climbing out, and he's doing this with Sean Durzi not in an IR spot. He just starts his lineup.
Starts his lineup for the week and puts the phone down.
Yeah, he doesn't make any ads, doesn't make any moves, doesn't even put Sean Durzi on the IR and add another guy. And this guy's winning matchups, and it's looking like doing this is working well for him. Ovechkin out now would be tough. He's not going to put Ovechkin on his IR probably now, so
just leave him out. Leave him in the room just for emotional support.
Yeah.
Veteran presence.
But definitely capitalized. He didn't need Woll to start, but as soon as Woll was like announced to start, it was like, okay, he's definitely going to win. Obviously, having Nylander and Tavares as well going, and it's just Dirty Dancers stick to win. Decided today. Next matchup, this one was close, but there was no No real fight in the end of the day. Starting today, the point totals were 333.25 for Sedina and Limbo and 313 for Hipsters and Hose. It ends with Hipsters and Hose losing with 323 and Sedina and Limbo with 338. So Sedina and Limbo, I think, kind of noticed that Andre didn't have any players playing today and didn't want to make the moves for it. So it really that's why Sedin and Limbo, I think, decided to ship off Carol Veggie Milk. It was kind of a risky move. You want to secure the win, but shipped them off and still got the win. So yeah, but I think noticing that Hipsters and Hose didn't have any guys really affected that, right?
Yeah, for sure. If you have the player playing today and somebody you don't really need him, somebody else wants him, you make a move. Andre down to 2-5 now.
Yeah, bit of a hole.
See if he can dig himself out of it.
He doesn't have Andre Vasilevsky anymore, but he's got Wolf, right? And I think that's the way he's got good goaltenders, and he's like, I got 4 good goaltenders. I gotta make a move. I gotta trade one of these guys. He's got to trade one of these guys, right? That's another thing. If Andre can turn his season around, he's got extra draft capital that he can trade a first-round pick later on at the trade deadline if he turns his season around, and then he can make those moves because he could potentially get going again. But yeah, there's potential for Andre to be better for sure, but it takes a loss, obviously. This next matchup, absolute banger of a matchup. Through and throughout, this is matchup of the week. I think we called our matchup of the week a matchup of the week, but it really ended up not being because you just had a good lead on me all week. So this one was definitely the matchup of the week. You got the two best teams playing each other. You got the Aho Let's Go versus Keeper Hardly Knower. Aho Let's Go, 5-1 team playing the 4-2 Keeper Hardly Knower. Heading into the night. What do we got here? Keepers was at 353.25. Aho Let's Go was at 371.25. The matchup ends up 388 for Keeper Hardly Knower to Aho's 380. Yeah.
2 good teams right down to the wire. Great matchup. Low scoring week, they still put up good numbers though compared to the rest of the league. And kind of obvious they're both going into the week. They're the 1 and 2 seed in the standings. They'll remain that way after the standings refresh at midnight.
But obviously, Keeper Hardly Knower, man, takes out Aho Let's Go. The biggest thing that happened today was the Anthony Stolarz not getting the start on a bit of a scheduled start that he should have had. But Joseph Woll getting the start, and Aho Let's Go's didn't have his goaltender. And then that Veggie Milkers trade. So if those two things didn't happen, we would have been talking about an Aho win here.
Yeah, for sure. That's the way things go sometimes.
Yep.
Unexpected not starts happen.
And you don't see Rob talk in the chat much, but he talked in the chat today. He was just livid about the Stolarz situation. I mean, I would be too. I would be too. I
see where he's coming from.
I definitely see. I mean, some of these coaches, man, they make some boneheaded decisions, and that was, but it wasn't because Leafs ended up winning, and Woll played a really good game. So obviously, they have Maple Leafs have invested a bit into Woll and developing him, and they kind of named him the start of the year, and then Stolarz looked good, and it's like they kind of just want to. I think Woll is their goaltender of the future, but in a tandem situation this year. So, yeah. But just to go a little bit more insight on this matchup, I mean, you got for Aho, you got Jack Eichel going off 36 points. You got Mikko Rantanen 45 points. Just having stellar weeks. Cole goaltenders, like Solars didn't even start one game this week. That sucks. And then, but Buffalo goaltender Luukkonen, 42.75 points, and then a pickup of James Reimer for him. So Buffalo goaltending really helped out Aho this week. Obviously didn't get the win, but came really close to it. Keeper Harley Noer, I was talking to him a lot during the week, and Aho definitely had the player advantage. He had more players playing, but keeper obviously got the win. But bit I would say outmanaged Aho right at the end. But he's got points from Matthew Tkachuk, 33 points on the week. Connor McDavid, 54 points, 4 goals, 3 assists. Just outstanding week for Connor McDavid. And then the rest of his team just had really good average, 20, 30 point weeks. And then goaltending, obviously Veggie Melker's got him the big win today with that trade. Connor Hellebuyck, 25 points. And a start from that Kolosov guy from Philadelphia, got him 10 points. So, I mean, he outmanaged Aho, and he got the W, and Aho's got 2 losses now. And interesting thing on this matchup, Keeper Harley Noers is the only team to have a winning record all time versus Aho. Let's go.
That's big.
3-2 now, all time. He's the only team in this league to have a winning record versus him.
That is big.
It's pretty wild. Pretty wild stuff. All right, carrying on with our previews for next week. Some big matchups going on. You got, I don't know. You started off with your matchup.
Yeah, so I'm playing -1 this week. We both won last week. Yeah, I'm back though, so I'm winning this easy. Not easy. It'll be a bit of work, but I'll get her done.
He'll get her done, eh? All right, -1 just off of a win versus Gator. I'm looking to right the wrong. I mean, you're kind of on a bit of an emotional high right now. You beat me. That's always, I'm always a tough opponent, and
You were not last week.
last week you had a bit of an. You've had two bye weeks in a row, pretty much. Well, I wouldn't say last week was necessarily a bye week because you prepped during your other bye week versus Rototiller to take me on, so you didn't prep as much for this matchup. You didn't have the time to do it because you wanted to secure the bag versus me. But I still think -1. He's coming out hot. He's scored some decent amount of points in this league. Obviously, he had 4 straight losses at one point. Now he's 3-4. He's really in good earshot. Out of the 2 expansion teams, he's definitely got the better of the team. Out of him, Flyhammer. And that's why I'm going to call for an upset here. -1 upset Jaeger Krantz.
Yeah, you see how that works out for you next week.
I'm going against you, buddy.
I know you gotta.
All right, next matchup we got myself, Noah Gretzky's versus Pickle Peppers. All time, I hold a 7-2 record against Pickle Peppers. I've got obviously the better hand of him over the history of the league, and I'd like to continue that obviously this week. I've got my work cut out for me. My first 8 weeks in this league have been tough this year. And then Pickle Peppers is no slouch, obviously 5-2 coming at me, and it's going to be a thrill of a matchup. But I got to right my wrongs. The team's going to do a whole 180 here from this point on, and I can see myself winning.
Yeah, I don't like that 7-2 stat. But stat
I was a little shocked.
I
was a little
The
shocked.
stat I do like for this prediction is that your team is ass, and Pickle Peppers is going to cruise to a win.
Let's see. I got Vinny Trocheck now.
You do, yeah. That does change some things.
Randy Trocheck, let's go, baby. It's gonna be a good matchup. I'm not gonna pull out the old Messier guarantee on this one. That bit me in the ass.
You should retire that.
It's gonna be a good matchup. Obviously, I was really shocked at the 7-2 all time. I think Pickle Pepper's probably his best. I mean, the last season he might have won the 2 games last season, and so recently I feel like he's definitely been a better team than me recently. But it'll be a good matchup going forward. I'm definitely excited for it. It's always fun to play Pickle Peppers, obviously, with my 7 wins out of the 9 times we played.
Next one, we got Martyrs Millions. We got West Coast Express.
Yeah, all time 3-3. Even matchup.
3-3
all time.
Oh, I think Martyrs goes to 4-3 on this one.
I know Austin Matthews is coming back Wednesday. He's got his new hair. But
That might slow him down, though.
Oh no, he was already kind of slow at the start this year. I think he comes back and it's full cylinders. Toronto is just giving her, like, they're going hard even without Matthews right now. And add Matthews in it, the goals are gonna pile up. I know Martyrs is 5-2. Again, I don't think I've not backed Gator this entire season. I'm backing Gator again.
The thing is, you bring up Austin Matthews on West Coast Express, but Martyrs Millions has Mitchie Marnie.
Mitchie Marnie's going to have to take a back seat. Austin Matthews is coming back.
But Mitchie Marnie's been keeping the ship afloat, while Matthews has been out with a hair transplant.
We'll see. I like Gators. I like Gators' opportunity here. Anything more on this matchup? You're taking Martyrs, obviously.
Yeah.
Got to.
No, you already did first.
Yeah. Okay, next matchup, you got Mac-O-Lantern versus Hipsters and Hoes. Mac-O-Lantern.
You do.
Mac-O-Lantern's a good team this year. He is. He scored 460 points last week. Hipsters and Hoes. We seem like we're bullish on Hipsters and Hoes, and I feel like he can have a resurgence, but facing Mac-O-Lantern, man, this league's tough, bro. Like, this league is tough.
Yeah, it ain't easy.
And this ain't an easy matchup for either of these guys, and all-time records versus each other's. Actually, Hipsters and Hoes is 5-4 against them. Fairly even. Played 9 times. Could very well be 5-5, but I'll let you go ahead and take your prediction first.
I'm gonna go Mac-O-Lantern. I mean, we've been wondering when both Hipsters and Hoes is gonna turn the corner. He's got to show it to me first before I pick him. I'm picking Mac-O-Lantern.
Yeah, I see your point on that too. Like, he had an ample opportunity last week to show something versus Sedin and Limbo. I mean, Sedin and Limbo, he's got the wins. He's a decent team, but he's also, like, you know, his best player, JT Miller, is out, and he didn't show up versus Sedin and Limbo. So it is tough to take Hipsters and Hoes, but I feel like it's the start of maybe a turnaround this week if he can get a win. I think it'll be a start of a turnaround for this year for him, and hopefully, like, Bedard's kind of having a bit of a freshman or what do they know, a sophomore slump, as they call him, and eventually Bedard's gonna come out firing and start going hard, and I think it could start with right now, this week. Hips and Nose, I got you, bro.
Okay. On the next one?
Yeah. You got the 5-2 Keeper Hardly Knowers versus the 0-7 Larry Loves. I got Keeper Hardly Knower taking a really good win here. Nice, easy rebound after... Not rebound. I shouldn't say that. That's not the correct term. He had this tough-ass matchup with Aho Let's Go to have this as a follow-up matchup. Man, that's awesome. You got to feel good about it. Easy win and set yourself up for your matchup going forward. All time between these two guys, 2-2. They've only played 4 times.
Well, I'm doing it. Larry Love upset. Let's fucking go. Gonna put it together. Keeper, big emotional matchup. He was making moves to win the last matchup, and he's got to play next week now. Larry Love win. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I mean, this year teams that beat Aho have gone on to lose the next matchup.
Gone on to lose like the next 3 in a row.
Yeah, so this could be the start of Keeper Hardly Knowers 3 loss streak here. Maybe more. Definitely have Keeper Hardly Knower taking this one. The next matchup, we got the first inaugural matchup versus Flyhammer and Darcy. They're like best friends, right? They do everything together.
They hang out.
They're best friends.
Friends for life.
I mean, you call Flyhammer Uncle Ronnie.
Because he is my actual uncle.
Oh, is he your actual uncle?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you.
Cousin.
Oh, okay. It's your dad's cousin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So he's actually your uncle.
Yeah. No, that wasn't just a random guy I called.
Well, I call a lot of we call a lot of people uncle. So I mean, he's also my uncle. I call Uncle Ronnie Uncle Ronnie. I've only met him one time.
As you should.
Yeah. No, Uncle Ronnie versus Rototiller, going at each other.
Yeah, should be a good matchup. I mean,
This is an opportunity for Flyhammer to get a win here, a nice win.
he's got to do it.
Yeah, he's got to pull off the upset.
He's gonna be fired up for this.
And like also he's got to be like I want to see the conversations that these two guys have this week between themselves. Rototiller's Darce is going to be trying to like coach him to lose. And hopefully Rototiller could or hopefully Flyhammer could see past that.
But he should be able to.
And Fly
I'm gonna pick the guy with the new starting goalie. Rototiller going for getting back on track. He's got a new goalie. He has to win this matchup.
Yeah.
Like, you trade your first round pick, you can't go and lose.
You know what though?
This is a backed into a corner must win game.
I'm riding. You're going because Vasilevsky's got his brand new starting goaltender. I'm going with Flyhammer. You got your best goaltender, your number one goaltender, Jeremy Swayman. He's got a new coach. Get a coach bump. I feel like it's going to be a stellar performance from Swayman this week. I think Boston plays 4 times, and Boston also plays a couple games on irregular days. Just by my research beforehand, Boston's got a lot of the days that other teams aren't playing on. So if Flyhammer can take advantage of that and add goaltender, because on busy NHL days you can add a goaltender easily. It's on the lesser days you can't add goaltenders because people are adding them at midnight. Right, so I think if Flyhammer can take advantage of Swayman playing on off days, it'll be pretty clutch.
Yeah, see what happens. There's sure to be some shit talk between the two of them for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, next matchup. We got Dirty Dancers versus Sedin and Limbo. Should be a good one. Should be a really good one. Sedin and Limbo is 4-2 all time against Dirty Dancers. Dirty Dancers off to a four-game win streak. He started off 0-3. Now he's at a 4-3. We sort of talked about him early, kind of we weren't too stoked about his team, and then now, but we were just not stoked that he doesn't do any ads, but it's just working for him, doing the clicking the start active player button, making no ads, putting no one on IR. It's working for him, and he's gonna roll on. I'm gonna have to take Dirty Dancers on this one.
Well, I'm gonna take the chance to shout out our friends at A&W and take Sedin and Limbo. The power of A&W will prevail and propel Sedin to a big win this week.
Yeah, should be a good matchup though. I think this one will be a very close one. Dasho versus Aho. Let's go. You always hate to play Aho after he loses, because Aho is going to put up about 450 to 500.
I was going to say like 500 to 550.
Yeah. I think it's weird. This week's weird because I'll say it right now. I've looked ahead and there's a lot of games getting played this week, but Thursday, no games are playing because it's American Thanksgiving. So, but somehow there's still a jam-packed schedule. Like every team's like playing. Like there's a lot of teams playing 4 games this week. So
yeah, there's only like a couple of teams playing 2. One of them happens to be the Oilers.
Yeah, they had 2 straight weeks of playing 4 though, and that was one thing with our matchup. I noticed was like early on in the week is the Oilers are playing the off days, and I was like, oh shit, you got Evan Bouchard and Draisaitl just destroyed me. And Bouchard actually showed up this week too.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I'm picking first. I'm taking Aho. You can't not take Aho after a loss.
Yeah, I got Dasho because I feel like Dasho. You hear the can't take Aho after a loss sort of deal. That doesn't frighten Dasho. And Dasho, he just had a loss. He's on a bit of a win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one situation. So obviously he's gonna win this one.
Yeah, you gotta see who can do the furthest win-loss in a year.
Yeah.
Don't know if we'll what was it Gator did one year?
Gator did it one year, yeah.
It was like 12 weeks into the season.
And then he ended up winning like 2 in a row and then losing and then winning 2 in a row, and that's what got him in the playoffs. Like just got a step above 500.
Just kept going until he needed to step her up.
So we'll see. I have my faith in Dasho to do this one. Unfortunately. As for the standings, the standings are kind of jumping around this week. You got Aho still in number 1, Keeper in number 2, Pickle Peppers number 3, Mariners number 4, myself would still be number
5.
Number 5. You're gonna be number 6. Rototiller. No, Sedin and Limbo will be number 7, and Rototiller number 8. Macalanther number 8. Rototiller's out of a playoff spot at number 9.
Dirty Dancers might go ahead of them too.
Oh yeah, you're right. Dirty Dancers might jump. So Rototiller 2 spots out of playoff with points 4, and then the rest is going to be the Dash Show, Flyhammer, Dash 1, Hipsters and Hoes, West Coast Express, and Larry Love. Dash 1 over Flyhammer though. Flyhammer,
I think over Dash Show as well.
And yeah, because like Dash 1's put up some point totals. He's
got higher points,
so he's gonna have. That's the guy that you got to worry about if he's a patty boy. he's going to have a nice points for over some of the other Patty boys. But very close standings, very, very close records.
Yeah, a lot of teams 4-3, 3-4, and then a couple other teams on the outside.
Yeah. So that's the standings. Right on. Am I missing anything? Nick says in the chat, CHL USA prospects game on Tuesday. Good watch for general managers. So worth mentioning on the pod. So I guess there's a CHL and USA prospects game on Tuesday. That doesn't normally happen, eh? Like that's just
So they do the CHL. They do the CHL top prospects game, but I guess they added the USA.
yeah. Well, I guess actually that's another big news topic is the CHL or the OHL is looking to rapidly expand with this whole new Junior Hockey League and NCAA agreement, where you don't forego your NCAA eligibility if you play in the OHL anymore or the CHL anymore. So right now the OHL is now looking to rapidly expand to the United States and take, because the USHL, which is basically like the CHL in USA, that league is like now that they do not they're gonna be fucked with this agreement. They're gonna be like, the USHL is gonna take a big hit. So apparently the OHL might take over, like the USHL teams in the OHL region are probably going to become OHL teams. So Ontario Hockey League is now going to be expanded to the America, like how the WHL has got American teams as well.
Well, the OHL has a couple in the States already.
Do they? Who do they have?
Flint, Michigan has a team.
Oh, okay. But they're rapidly expanding from now, because USHL, they're like, oh shit, like we're kind of getting fucked with this NCAA agreement that they now have. So you'll see more. They're looking like even next year expanding. So USHL teams are going to be looking at being American OHL teams. And still,
see how it goes.
Yeah. So worth noting. Yeah, let's go do some puck doku on the. If you're watching at home, you can see the board. But if you're listening while you're driving into work, you got the St. Louis Blues, the San Jose Sharks, and the Florida Panthers on the horizontal axes. You got the Buffalo Sabres, the New Jersey Devils, and 100-plus career games on the vertical axes. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I don't know. You want to go first? I'm drawing a blank. I gotta take a second here.
All right, I'll go first. And it goes San Jose, 100-plus games in career, Steve Shields.
I'll go San Jose, New Jersey Devils, Ryan Clough.
Not bad, not bad. Let's go Florida, New Jersey, Scott Clemmensen.
Not bad, 6%. Let's go New Jersey Devils, St. Louis Blues, Martin Brodeur. Probably the easiest one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that was way too easy. That was so stupid. Why did I do that? Whatever. Gotta fill the board.
That's the
Gotta
one
fill the
that-
board. We haven't been able to fill the board in a while, so I had to fill the board.
Yeah. That one's like, oh, Marty Brodeur played, but I feel like enough people know about that.
Yeah. Maybe like, no, I feel like even in 40 years, people would still pick him. Might go down like 4 percentile, but
Question is, where do I want to go next? Let's go Florida, 100 games. Hopefully he meets it. Alex Ald.
yeah, Alex Alt definitely has it. That's good. That's good. Good.
I was trying to remember how long he actually played for.
Let's go St. Louis Blues, 100 games, Wayne Gretzky. 2%, baby.
For Wayne Gretzky, that's
I was like, when I said that, I was like, oh, shit. But then not many people know that Wayne Gretzky played for St. Louis Blues. There's only 18 games at a playoff series. But not many people, true hockey fans know he did. But when you look at this board, I think your mind's going a little bit elsewhere.
well. I think with the open category, like if you're a noob, you're probably going with the like shoe-ins,
Yeah.
like Heath Kachucks,
Yeah.
your Alex
Any-
Guinnesses, your Chris Prongers.
I feel like
Or your goal.
Alex Steen would get you 5% with the Blues. But
Or you're trying to go with like a deep cut,
yeah.
so Wayne Gretzky just doesn't enter your mind.
Yeah, exactly. Just mindset, so.
All right. We gotta do this Buffalo part now. I see we've left it for the end.
Yeah, I know, eh? There's a lot of good players that left Buffalo, though.
Yeah, Buffalo's been kind of a meat grinder for players. Just send them in and out. Where do I want to go?
Oh, what's that goaltender's name?
I got nothing good, so I'm gonna go Buffalo, St. Louis, Brian Elliott.
No.
What do you mean, Ryan? Brian Elliott never played for Buffalo.
He never did, I guess.
Does that shock you upon finding that out?
Yeah, Brian Elliott played for everyone.
And he just seems like a guy that the Sabres would have had for like 30 games in 2014.
Yeah. Huh. I do have a goaltender for that same thing. Buffalo, St. Louis, Carter Hutton, I believe his name is. Hutton?
That's his name, and that'll be right.
1%, baby. Let's go. I can't believe you fucked up this board,
Yeah.
Eggs.
I know. I feel bad about it. I was so sure he played for Buffalo. What do I want to do here? Do I want to fuck up the board even more? Yeah, let's go. No, fuck. Fuck it. Wait. Never mind. Buffalo, Florida, Brian Campbell. I almost went Buffalo, San Jose with him.
Oh, did he play San Jose?
He played in San Jose, but I felt like that was the more popular one. Shane
No,
looked that up.
because I thought that I was hoping you were gonna leave me, but I guess I didn't have a pick next. Anyways, the Buffalo San Jose. I was actually stressed about that one because I didn't really know. I didn't really have one for that.
Yeah, 'cause I remember it was a big trade deadline thing. Sabres sent Brian Campbell to the Sharks. But I'm like, oh, that was a big trade deadline thing. And he played for Florida randomly at the end of his career.
Yeah.
And I go Florida, but Florida was more popular. I looked it up, 3.1 to 3.6%.
Yeah, I do remember Brian Campbell. I don't remember Brian Campbell playing for San Jose. Personally.
It was a trade deadline like 2007, I want to say.
Okay, the only one that I really struggled with was Buffalo San Jose. Who's on the list there?
Vander Kane.
James Reimer, Christian Ehrhoff.
Sharks GM Mike Greer.
Your boy Steve Shields,
Could have used Steve Shields as well there,
Aaron Dell.
but he was way lower in percentage on the other one.
Scroll down a little
Craig
bit more.
Rivet.
I don't
I
remember.
was gonna say Craig Rivet. I almost had him in there.
John Scott would have been a good one. Yeah, see, I was tough. This one was tough for me.
Wait,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Rafi Torres played for Buffalo.
I don't remember him playing for Buffalo. Brad Boyes.
Brad Boyd.
Yeah, that would have been one for the boys. Steve
Oh,
Bernier.
Steve Bernier.
Yeah.
Torrey Mitchell.
Torrey Mitchell. Yeah. Justin Bailey. Ray Shepard. Have not heard that name in a minute. It was that one's actually it's not like too many obvious names that I would have had. I was blanking even on Kane in Buffalo too.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Kate, I don't even remember Kane playing for Buffalo anymore. He's had such a rocky career.
Atlanta Thrashers legend.
Yeah. Atlanta Thrashers to Buffalo for Tyler Myers, right?
Yeah.
And then he got traded to San Jose. No.
By the Sharks.
Yeah.
Signed with the Oilers.
Yeah. I don't remember Kane for a hot minute in Buffalo. Like, I do know that he played for him now that I'm looking at it, but I don't... Like, it wasn't long, right? It was only like 2 seasons or like 1 season? 2 seasons?
It might have been like 3.
But it wasn't very successful at all.
No, they were not good during that time.
Yeah, because he played for Winnipeg or Winnipeg and Atlanta for a while, and then went to Buffalo for the Tyler Myers.
Yeah.
Anyways, boys, that was another podcast. Oh, we hit up 2 hours exactly. Holy. A little bit of a longer one. Thanks for listening if you're still listening, and peace out. We had a lot to cover.
Had to do it.
Had to do it, and we'll look at, heading out.
Thank you for listening to the Burger Boys Fantasy Network. Catch us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're going to say something, Yanks. What are you going to say?
I was gonna, when we were sitting there like waiting to do this, they just cut the fucking mic, man.